Hi, today I'm going to talk about Venus, the planet of love. Just like St. Valentine's is approaching now, let's talk about love. What else? And Venus is the planet which shows in our horoscope how we approach love, what is important in relationship for us. In a female's chart, Venus will show how worthy she feels of love, how well she receives and gives affection. A Venus that is not in a good position usually will make a woman feel less worthy, associate with less worthy people, make less worthy and less wise choices. In a male's horoscope, Venus will describe the wife or the women that a male is most often attracted to or somehow ends up being in relationship with, the kind of situation that you can meet your partner as well, the position of Venus can describe. Venus also describes how we make choices. Venus is the planet of choices, and of course the most important choices we make is about relationships. If you have a position, if you have a Venus in a difficult position, we will more often than not make wrong choices in relationships, generally in our life, but now we're going to speak about relationships. And let me first explain to you how you can find the position of your Venus. First, go to my website, astrolada.com, and go to the birth chart calculator. I have a great new professional birth chart calculator, but you need to know the time of your birth. It's very important, to find the position, the house position of Venus. You need to know your time of birth. Enter the time of birth correctly, enter the place you were born as well, and then the website will send you to a chart, a horoscope chart that looks something like that. And there are other things on the chart, but what you are going to look for is to see where the sign of the planet Venus is. So, Venus can be like that. Venus is written with the letters V, the starting two letters of Venus. And Venus can be in the first house, or Venus can be here. Just see where Venus is and what house, what number you have next to Venus in the quadrant, This will show the house position of your Venus. And once you have this house position, independent where Venus is, go and listen to the video for the respective position of Venus. If you have your Venus in the 7th house, watch, you see the number 7 here and you see Venus here, then go and watch Venus in the 7th house, the video for Venus in the 7th house. Hi, and what happens if your Venus is in the 12th house? It's a bit of a difficult position, so to speak, because Venus is relationship and 12th house is a hidden house. So very often, sometimes, if you're attracted to someone who has Venus in the 12th house, believe me, what you see from their love life is not what is really there. It's much more to their love life than you see, And they can be quite secretive about their love life, and they like more the seclusion of private enjoyment. So often they're inclined to having hidden relationships, having a out of marriage relationship as well. Or because Venus is sensuality and sexuality, and when it's in the hidden 12th house, this is what happens often with relationship. Or another thing is that the 12th house is the house of the subconscious, of the imaginary, of the dream consciousness. And people there who have their Venus there can be extremely romantic, but they can kind of see their partner unrealistically. They can project into him certain characteristics which are not really actually belonging to this person, and keep ending disappointed when this person is actually turns out to be just a normal human being with his own or her own disadvantages. And such people can actually spend much more time dreaming about the ideal relationships than working on the actual marriages. And there is often a sense of dissatisfaction with the current partner, with a serious long-term relationships, because these people, they tend to think, how to say, because for them in their head the real partner is never as beautiful or as pleasurable as the fantasy vision they have in their head, So they have a tendency to kind of idealize the partner in initial stages of relationship, especially, or for secret partnership out of marriage or out of their current relationship. Oh, but this can be extremely spiritual, extremely inspiring position for people who are creative, because love can inspire them. Muses, you know, their love partner can be a great muse with them. A lot of artists and painters and musicians have this position, and through disappointments in love, they actually tend to give them inspiration to create. And their fantasy world is extremely rich. Oftentimes these are people who can fantasize for hours about sensual experiences. And their sex life is usually quite good, to be honest. It is quite good, but it's often in a way that they have to sacrifice something. So either they're in a relationship with someone who is already involved, or something. There is always something about sacrificing something to be happy in the relationship. So for long-term marriage, it's a bit painful, but for romantic relationship, for love affairs, it's one of the most strongest positions, And also 12th house is the house of very foreign, faraway places. So you often can be attracted to exotic partners who have a very different cultural background. And there is a tendency to addictions as well. Either addictions where maybe your relationship is somehow involved with alcohol, with escaping reality, 12th house escaping reality, with fantasizing too much, maybe almost you can have an imaginary lover. I know people with this position that is actually like that. For women with Venus in the 12th house, they can often overspend. For some reason, this is what they do. They love spending. And if a man has Venus in the 12th house, he can be attracted. He can often end up with women, or his wife can be someone who spends more money, These are just interesting little facts. So, if you identify with them, you can write to me. But again, there is always a feeling of private love, of sacrificial love, of escaping reality through sex, escapism. The sex life is good. They merge really with the partner to a very great extent. The sexual relationship can be very deep and intense, but there is always a sense of dissatisfaction with the real partner in life because of this tendency to fantasize, to not see properly, life. But it's also very creative and inspiring position. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this. And let me know what you think about this video.